Hey guys, and welcome to my favorite books of 2014 for the second quarter of the year. I will link below the video that I made for the books that I loved for the first quarter of 2014, so for the January, February, and March months. And this time, I know it's kind of late, we're halfway through July, but I have been meaning to do this video. I've just been really busy, but it's here, it's finally here. I have 10 books to show you guys. I've read a total of around, I think the same as last time, 37 books. So yeah, 30% of my books are my favorites. I just want to point out that I will be making a video again for the third quarter and the fourth quarter, and then I'll make a video for basically my favorite books of 2014, all-time favorites. A lot of those are just like 5-star ratings and 4.5, but at the end of the year I just want to do like the best of the best. I'm going again to do it based on genre, like my last video. So there are 4 separate sort of genres. This is going to be all over because there's a couple of books that I just are a mix of genres, so I don't know where to put them. But anyways, let's get started. The first book in this video is The Book of Blood and Shadows by Robin Westerman. I read this book initially as a buddy read, but then I just fell in love with this book. This book is historical, along with some fantasy elements, along with some adventure, and it talks about a girl who works for this professor to decipher some Latin letters and stuff, and her along with her guy best friend and his girlfriend and this guy that she started to date stumble upon these letters that might change the history of whatever that they're researching. So what happens is that she finds out one day, or she goes to her guy best friend's house one day, and she finds out that he gets murdered and his girlfriend's basically like catatonic and just, you know, unresponsive, and then the guy that she started dating disappears. So, and the letters of course disappear. So what she does is that she tries to find him, and it leads her to Prague, and it goes from there. What's cool about this one is that while you're reading the actual story, you're also sort of going through the timeline of the women that they found the letters of. So it's kind of cool. I don't generally like letters in books, but I did like it here. I think the protagonist is so cool, and the twists in this book are crazy. You will not be able to predict anything from this book. I am challenging you. It is that good. So I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Love it. Can't wait to read more books by Robin. The next book is also like sci-fi-ish, fantasy-ish, and it's the sequel to Pivot Point, and it's Split Second by Casey West. This is the second and last book in this duology, and I love it. I loved it as much as the first one. Maybe, I can't really say if I love the first one more. I might have liked the first one more, but I still love it just as much. The first one was in my favorite and top books of 2013, so this is most probably going to be my top books of 2014, like the actual final video. I really loved this one. I don't want to say much to spoil it, but the first book, Pivot Point, talks about the girl, and her name is Addie, and Addie is a divergent. And what a divergent means, it's not like from the Divergent book. It means that whenever she's faced with a decision to make, she can look into basically choosing choice A or choice B, and she can look into the future, and she lives it sort of, and then she comes back and then she knows, you know, where she is in either this one or that one, and chooses the better outcome. And what happens is that she lives in the paranormal community along with her parents, but her parents split up, and her dad wants to leave and live with the normal people. So she's faced with the decision if she either wants to go with her dad or stay with her mom. And the book is like that. It goes to one chapter, she's in the para world, and the other chapter she's in the normal world, and then in the end something big happens and she makes a decision. And this is the book after, like, she's basically dealing with the consequences of the decision, and it's so good. 5 out of 5 stars. So the next genre is paranormal dystopian, actually. The book is The Immortal Rules by Julie Kagawa. This is dystopian / paranormal, and yeah, the third genre is going to be paranormal, so this is the in-between. And I loved this book. It was so addicting. This was also another buddy read, and loved it. And it talks about a girl, her name is Alison Sekimoto, and she lives in a world where the vampires now rule. The humans are basically sort of like the pets and the slaves and the parasites, and she hates vampires with every fiber of her being. But one day she gets turned into a vampire because something's happened, and now she has to deal with that. And yeah, I don't want to give too much about it, but it's really, really, really good. I already read The Eternity Cure, didn't love it as much as this, but also loved this one, and I'm so excited to read The Forever Song really soon. The next book is one that I just recently read, and it's Hex Hall by Rachel Hawkins, another buddy read. I feel like all my buddy reads are awesome books, and I thought that this book was a mix of fun as well as like suspense and mystery, and it was really good and contemporary. And this is set in a boarding school, and I love books set in boarding schools, so this is what attracted me to this whole series to begin with. Loved this book. Talks about a girl. Her name is Sophie Mercer, and she's a witch. And the thing is that she got into too many incidents where she revealed herself as a witch, so her parents decided to send her into this boarding school called Hex Hall, or that's what the students call it. And in there's like some secrets and a murder that hasn't sort of been solved, and there's this person and there's a ghost, and it's just really cool. And in this boarding school, they're all the delinquents of the paranormal world, such as werewolves and witches as well as fairies, and it's a really cool book. And I'm actually starting Demon Glass today, which is a continuation for my buddy read with the other two people that I'm buddy reading it with. Next book is also one I recently read, and it's a spin-off to a trilogy, and it's Sinner by Maggie Stiefvater. You can read this book as a standalone. You don't really need to have read the first 3 books. And I actually read the Wolves of Mercy Falls 4 years ago, so it was a while, and I don't remember much from it. But you can totally read this as a standalone. This sort of reads more as a contemporary than paranormal. I mean, the main guy, St. Clair, is a... What did I say? St. Clair? I meant St. Cole. Anyways, so it's more about the struggle and the inner struggle of St. Cole. A lot of the book is set in like his head and like through his inner monologues, and this is also told in 2 POVs, St. Cole as well as Isabel. And this book starts with St. Cole going to LA to basically go to Isabel and try to, you know, salvage their relationship, because they do meet in the previous book. But again, you don't really need to know that. You can read it from the synopsis. So it's both from Isabel and St. Cole, and they're both pretty messed up and they have their own issues. I feel like sometimes this can even be labeled as new adult because of, you know, the idea behind new adult books and such. But anyways, love this one. 5 out of 5 stars. I can't wait to get a finished copy. It is perfect. And I love St. Cole, I love Isabel, and yeah, if you guys are contemporary fans, definitely check this one out. And I feel like Maggie Stiefvater's writing got so much better from the Wolves of Mercy Falls, especially with her writing the Scorpio Races, the Raven Boys, and the Dream Thieves, which are... I love the Raven Boys and the Dream Thieves. But yes, I am excited for Blue Lily Lily Blue. The next 2 books are also in this paranormal genre, and there are 2 books in a trilogy. I've recently reviewed these 2 books, and I'm pretty sure you already know what they are if you've been watching my videos. The first book is The Beautiful and the Cursed, and the second one is The Lovely and the Lost by Paige Morgan. I love these books, and these books are paranormal, along with some supernatural, along with some historical, because it's set in like 1899 up to the 1900, so... And I love the main protagonist. I love that it's told from dual POVs, but with no set chapters. So it's like you're kind of like absorbing what's going on. I also love the plot on how there are gargoyles in here, but they don't really focus only on the paranormal. There's also supernatural with the powers, as well as the mystery and the historical elements. Everything is perfect about these books, and they're totally going into my top books of 2014. Love them so much. I definitely recommend them to any fans who like the historical aspect of books, as well as want some like a book that has adventure, a good romance, more than one romance actually, and just, you know, good plot and good writing, because I would definitely recommend these books in a heartbeat. Now moving on to the last 3 books, which, if you guessed it, it's the contemporary genre. Let's be real. There used to be contemporary books in this video, as always. The first book is #Scandal by Sarah Auchler. Love this book. I recently actually reviewed it. I hope to have uploaded this video by then, the review, but not sure. And I think that this book is fluff and awesome, but at the same time it deals with a lot of social issues that high schoolers go through, and just like girls in general, and just it's perfect. And it talks about a girl who has always had a crush on her best friend's boyfriend, and one day her best friend becomes sick, and it was actually during prom night, so her best friend asks Lucy to go instead of her with her boyfriend. So they do, and they end up kissing that night. But the next day they find out that someone took a photo of them, as well as with a photo of so many other people doing things that, you know, you don't want anyone else to know about. And they were all uploaded on Lucy's Facebook, so all the hate goes to her, and everyone's like, you know, hating on her, slut-shaming her, all that stuff. And it just deals with that aspect, as well as just like how what is really normal and why are some people considered weird and other people looked down upon and all that stuff. And I just think this is a really, really good book, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The next book is actually a reread. So I've read it last year and it was on my favorite books of 2013, like top favorite. And again, I read it this year and I pretty much didn't skip a single line while reading this book. And it's also going to be my top favorite, and I feel like I should put it because, you know, it's obviously my favorite, so it's gonna be put. And it's A Sea of Tranquility by Katja Millet. Oh my god, this book. If you are a contemporary fan and you have not picked this book up, then I don't know what you're doing. It's like, you know how Anna, everyone needs to read Anna to actually even know what contemporary is or get initiated into the contemporary genre? I feel like this book should be like alongside Anna. Anna is more fluff and cute. This is more like serious and like deals with really emotional situations, and the characters have like really bad pasts and like really horrible situations, like emotionally and psychologically, that they're currently in. And it talks about a guy and a girl, so it's told from 2 POVs. The girl Nastya Lukin, the gymnast. Nastya Kashenkov. She used to be a piano prodigy, but then something happened and now she can't. And she ends up moving to her aunt's house to another town because she doesn't speak anymore. So she hasn't spoken for, I think, 2 years or a year and something. And her parents thought that if they moved her to another place or to her aunt's house, she would try to get over whatever happened to her. And yeah, so she goes to school, she dresses like a goth and like in the shortest skirts ever and like the most revealing clothes, because she feels like, you know, if people want to look, then I'll give them a reason to look or something like that. And then there's also Josh Bennett. Everyone that he's had a lot of losses in his life, and he feels like he can't get close to anyone anymore in fear of that. So they each have their own issues, and then they kind of meet, and just so good. Oh my god, guys. It's like 420 pages of pure magic. Like, this book is pretty much in my top 10 all-time favorite books ever. So if you haven't picked this book up and you own it, please pick it up. It's that good. And I'm pretty much like stalking Katja Millet and asking her when's her next book, because I'm totally gonna read it without even like reading the synopsis, because if she can write something like this, then I have no doubt that she can. Every book she releases is going to be as good as this one. And the last book in this whole video is Breathe Annie Breathe by Miranda Keneally. I recently read this, gave it 5 out of 5 stars, also filmed a video review as well as a written review, which I will leave the link down below. And this book is really good. It's really, really good. It talks about Annie, who has lost her boyfriend. He passes away, and her boyfriend was preparing to run a 26.2-mile marathon. So she decides that in honor of him that she's going to continue on and run this marathon. And it deals just with her grief as well as with her moving on and just the struggle that she goes through to prepare for this marathon, as well as meeting someone from her training place that she goes to and all that. And I get more into details in my review, but pretty much loved it. Felt like it's more mature YA obviously, but it's very well done and realistic, and I loved it, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. So these are all the books that I read and that I loved from the months of April till the end of June. Let me know if you guys have read any of these or which ones that you're really interested in, and let me know if you guys want me to do any reviews of any specific book. I pretty much have written reviews for all of them, but I'm getting tired. But yes, so yeah, a lot of really good reading quarter, I guess. And I don't know what to say other than hope you guys have a nice day and bye.